There is something beautiful about the fact that Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza no longer need to constantly appear together for fans to remember what they once represented. Their story has already become bigger than a television segment, bigger than a love team label, and bigger than a particular moment in their careers. It became a memory shared by millions, and memories have a strange power. They don't ask permission before returning. A song can bring them back. An old photograph can bring them back. A familiar name can bring them back. Sometimes all it takes is seeing the Alden and Maine together again for fans to suddenly remember exactly how they felt during the height of AlDub. That is something no ratings numbers, no television schedule, and no changing entertainment trend can completely erase. The story may have changed, but the memories remain today. Alden and Maine are individuals with their own careers, responsibilities, projects, relationships, and personal journeys, and fans have grown alongside them. The people who once watched AlDub as teenagers or young adults may now have completely different lives. Some may have families of their own. Some may have moved to different places. Some may no longer follow entertainment as closely as they once did. Yet when AlDub comes up, they remember. They remember the excitement. They remember the anticipation. They remember how a simple interaction could become the biggest conversation of the day. They remember the feeling of being part of something enormous. And perhaps that is why AlDub continues to have emotional value. It is not necessarily about wanting the past to return exactly as it was. It is about appreciating what that past meant. Could fans still welcome an AlDub reunion? If Alden and Maine were ever announced for a major project together again, there is little doubt that longtime supporters would pay attention. Whether it would be another romance, a comedy, a special appearance, or something completely unexpected, the curiosity alone would be enormous. Would the old chemistry still be there? Would fans feel the same kilig? Would a new generation understand why AlDub became such a phenomenon? Or would the reunion simply become a beautiful reminder of how much time has passed? Those questions are part of the excitement, but there is no need to rush toward an answer. A reunion, if it ever happens, should happen because the opportunity is right, not simply because fans demand that the past be recreated. After all, Alden and Maine have already proven that they can build successful identities beyond AlDub, and that is something fans can celebrate too. AlDub doesn't have to be recreated to be remembered. Perhaps this is the part that longtime fans sometimes forget. You don't have to bring something back to prove that it mattered. A movie doesn't need a sequel to become a classic. A song doesn't need to return to the charts to remain meaningful. And a love team doesn't need to reunite to remain forgettable. AlDub already happened. The memories already exist. The laughter already happened. The killing already happened. The cultural phenomenon already happened. And nothing can change that. That is why the phrase AlDub forever can mean something much deeper than simply wanting Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza back together. It can mean thank you for giving us those memories. Thank you for making that era special. Thank you for giving us something we can look back on and smile about. And perhaps that is the sweetest interpretation of all. Alden and Maine will always be part of each other's career stories. Even as they continue on separate professional paths, there is no denying that their careers are connected by one extraordinary chapter. Alden became part of Maine's biggest breakthrough period. Maine became part of Alden's most iconic love team era. Their names became linked in the minds of millions of viewers. That history cannot simply be rewritten, and it doesn't need to be. Their individual success doesn't erase AlDub. Instead, their individual journeys make the story more complete. They showed fans that people can be part of an unforgettable chapter together while still growing independently afterward. The fans are the ones who keep the memory alive. Ultimately, the AlDub story belongs to the fans as much as it belongs to the stars. Every old video replayed, every throwback photo shared, every nostalgic post, every conversation about what if, every fan who still remembers where they were when they first discovered AlDub. All of those things keep the memory alive. Fandom changes with time, but genuine affection can survive. And that's why years can pass without completely separating fans from the moments that once mattered to them. Maybe some people have moved on, maybe some have become quieter, Maybe some have discovered new favorite stars and new love teams, but deep inside, there is still that little corner reserved for the pair who once made them smile. Alden Richards and Maine Mendoza. AlDub. So is AlDub really forever? Maybe not in the way people once imagined. Maybe forever doesn't mean another television series. Maybe it doesn't mean another grand love story. Maybe it doesn't even mean another reunion. Maybe forever simply means that when people look back at one of the most memorable love team eras in Philippine entertainment, Alden and Maine's names will still be there, side by side, forever connected to a moment that changed their careers and captured the hearts of millions. And if one day Alden and Maine surprise everyone with another project together, fans will undoubtedly celebrate. But even if that day never comes, AlDub has already left its mark, because some love teams are remembered for the projects they made. Others are remembered for the awards they received, but the most special ones are remembered for how they made people feel. And that may be AlDub's greatest legacy. Years can pass, careers can evolve, entertainment can change. New stars can rise, but somewhere, someone will always remember that one moment when Alden smiled, Maine reacted, and an entire fandom collectively felt that familiar spark. And maybe that is enough. AlDub may no longer be an everyday story, but it will always be a story worth remembering. Because the chapter may have ended, but the memories never really did. AlDub forever? For the fans who were there, perhaps the answer has never really changed. Forever in the memories. Forever in the nostalgia. Forever in the hearts of AlDub Nation.